Many animals on the planet are distinct. We know exactly what they are. Then there are the mashups. Creatures that seem to have been built from parts of other animals. These creatures are having a bit of an identity crisis. Classifying capybaras is a confusing task. Originally, they were considered to be a type of pig, but they have a face like a beaver and webbed feet like a duck. They do spend a lot of time in water. In the 16th century, the Catholic Church even classified capybaras as fish, so that their meat could be eaten on Fridays and during Lent. They run at high speeds and chew their food like a camel. So what exactly are capybaras? They're rodents. The world's largest rodents at that, tipping the scales at up to 150 pounds. But the identity crisis doesn't stop there. They squeak like guinea pigs, chirp like birds, and even bark like dogs when threatened. They're incredibly vocal, so they can keep in touch with the others in their group, usually 10 to 20, but sometimes up to 100 capybaras. When words just won't do, they use their rear ends for communication. Capybaras have a pair of scent glands in their rumps that they use to mark their territory. Males will mark everything from bushes to even females, and there are several females for each male. They rub their rumps and leave behind hairs that are coated in an oily, smelly residue. Females also do this rump rubbing, but they save it for mating season to help them attract the best partner. Maybe their brains are waterlogged, but capybaras also share some traits with another strange creature, the hippopotamus. Both spend most of their time in water, sleeping, eating, and even breeding while submerged. The capybara's heads are designed like a hippo's too, with the nostrils, ears, and eyes able to pop out of the water so that they can keep watch of any danger lurking in the area. They can hold their breath for up to 5 minutes if they need to hide from a predator, like a jaguar, eagle, or an anaconda. Capybaras can also press their ears against their heads to keep water out. Even their eating habits are similar to other creatures. Like other herbivores that chew the cud, capybaras are similar to ruminants. They chew their food, bring it up, and chew it again. This is so they can absorb as many nutrients as possible from the grass and aquatic plants around them. They can extract even more from their food by eating their own droppings, just like rabbits. That helps them catch any nutrition they may have missed the first time. Their scientific name, Hydrocharis, means water pig, stemming from the earliest days of their identity crisis. But their actual name, capybara, means one who eats slender leaves, which gives a pretty good description of what they like to munch on, and rolls off the tongue much easier than hippo, duck, fish, rat, cow, pig. These massive South American rodents have truly forged their own strange identity, even if they had to borrow it from several other species. It hangs out hidden in humid places, waiting patiently for something it can eat for dinner. But this creature is not exactly what it seems. Here's a riddle. What has 8 legs, can grow up to 2 feet wide, and is the embodiment of most people's nightmares? Nope, it's not a spider. It's an amblypygi. Despite its terrifying appearance, the amblypygi is nothing to be afraid of. It is an arachnid, but not a spider, because it doesn't spin silk and doesn't have venomous fangs like most spiders. The amblypygi is not going to bite you and will likely scurry away and hide before you even know it's there. Its name, amblypygi, means blunt rump for its short, stumpy rear. But don't tell it that. If that's too much of a mouthful, they're also known as whip spiders or tailless whip scorpions, despite not being a spider or a scorpion. It's a completely separate order of arachnid made up of 155 different species. The whip comes from these strange, long, wispy front legs. These legs aren't made for walking. They're extremely sensitive sensory organs, and the amblypygi use them to feel their way around. These horrifying creatures are nocturnal, with some species even living underground, which might explain why, even with 8 twinkling eyes peering out at the world, the amblypygi have terrible vision. They need their sensory legs to know what's coming up around the corner. The other 6 legs are for strutting around. It doesn't exactly walk like an arachnid, more like a crustacean, shuffling left and right like a crab. They're also experts at staying very still, especially when on the hunt. Amblypygi are carnivores with an appetite for insects and a penchant for patience, sometimes waiting 2 to 3 weeks for the perfect meal to stroll on by. But they're not loners, far from it. These arachnids are social creatures. When 2 strange amblypygi are put together, they immediately seek each other out for comfort, or perhaps to plot world domination. And they're also fantastic parents. Females will actually carry their babies, colored with green bodies and pinkish legs, on their backs. Then, when they're big enough, the mothers and children snuggle and even caress each other with their long whip arms and stay together as a family group until the kids are all grown up. This is incredibly rare for arachnids. Usually, the babies are left to fend for themselves after birth. See, arachnophobes? These horrifying-looking creatures are also snuggly. While they may haunt your nightmares, they could also be the perfect pet if, say, a puppy just wasn't your thing.